What if your actual day job was literally breaking into bank vaults? Digitally, of course. Welcome to this explainer, where we're going to take a highly structured journey from pure curiosity all the way to real career readiness in the fascinating world of ethical hacking. If you've ever wondered how the good guys consistently beat cybercriminals to the punch, and how you can actually get paid to do it, well, you're absolutely in the right place.
Okay, let's quickly look at our roadmap. We've got 6 parts today. 1. What is a pentester? 2. The hacker's playbook. 3. Tools of the trade. 4. The path to entry. 5. Certifications and labs. And finally, number 6, salary and outlook.
Let's dive right into section 1. What is a pentester? Demystifying the role.
It all begins with one really critical question in today's incredibly complex digital landscape. How exactly do organizations outsmart malicious cybercriminals? Like, how do they know for an absolute fact that their multi-million-dollar defenses actually work before a real catastrophic disaster strikes? Well, the answer is penetration testing. Simply put, it's like hiring a master digital thief to comprehensively test your vault before a real criminal even knows it exists. It's a simulated, highly controlled cyber attack launched directly against an organization's computer systems, networks, or custom apps. The primary goal here? To proactively uncover exploitable vulnerabilities. We're talking about finding things like deeply hidden bad code, misconfigured cloud servers, or even just weak employee passwords so the internal security team can patch them up before a threat actor ever finds them. And why do companies go through all this trouble? Because, let's face it, a real data breach can cost a company millions of dollars in compliance fines and completely destroy its hard-earned reputation overnight. Now, a lot of people toss these terms around interchangeably in conversation, but there's a vital distinction you really need to understand. Think of it like this. Ethical hacking is a massive umbrella term that covers absolutely any use of hacking skills to defensively improve security. That could be anything from analyzing malware to sitting in a boardroom doing a broad risk assessment. Penetration testing, however, is a highly specific, targeted technique under that big umbrella. If ethical hacking is the entire physical security firm, penetration testing is the lockpicker hired specifically to try and break the front door latch. It's intensely focused purely on breaching a particular system or network to definitively expose its weaknesses. Moving on to Section 2, the hacker's playbook, rules of engagement. So this isn't just random, chaotic hacking. It's a meticulously structured 5-step playbook. Let's break this down. First up is reconnaissance. This is your intelligence gathering phase, which literally means doing things like scouring LinkedIn for employee emails or checking public databases to map out the target. Second is scanning. This is where you use technical tools to find technical loopholes, essentially walking around the digital perimeter and rattling doorknobs to see what ports are left wide open. Third is gaining access. This is the main event, the actual exploitation. A classic example is a SQL injection, which is basically tricking a login page into handing over the entire backend database instead of just checking a password. Fourth is maintaining access. Here, you act like an advanced persistent threat, trying to hide in the shadows of the network for as long as possible to see what ongoing damage you could do. Finally, analysis and cleanup. Believe it or not, about 50% of a professional hacker's job is actually just writing a giant humbling report for the client's IT team detailing exactly how badly you broke in. After that, you carefully erase your digital tracks so real hackers can't use the back doors you just conveniently opened up for them. Think of the different testing scenarios kind of like this. In a white box test, the company simply gives you all the blueprints up front. You get the network diagrams, you get the source code, you get full transparency. Companies do this when they want a fast, thorough audit of everything, or when they want to specifically simulate a malicious insider threat, like a rogue employee. In a black box test, however, you're flying completely blind. The client hands you a company name and a scope, and that's it. This forces you to act exactly like an external, highly motivated cybercriminal who is trying to breach the defensive perimeter strictly from the outside, relying entirely on your own recon. All right, Section 3, tools of the trade, the testing arsenal. You definitely don't need to commit all of these to memory today, but these are the undeniable, industry-standard tools of the profession. Most pen testers completely skip standard Windows or Mac environments and operate straight out of Kali Linux, which is a specialized operating system built from the ground up for ethical hacking. Inside that OS, they use Nmap. Going back to our earlier analogy, Nmap is the tool for walking down a hotel hallway and checking for unlocked doors. It rapidly scans networks for open ports. Then there's Wireshark, which is incredibly cool. It's like putting a glass to the wall to secretly listen to network chatter, intercepting and analyzing data packets right as they float through the air. Metasploit is the premier framework used to easily deploy your malicious payloads once you actually find a crack. And finally, Burp Suite is the absolute go-to for rigorously testing web applications for complex vulnerabilities. These tools are quite literally the lifeblood of the profession.
Let's jump to Section 4, the path to entry, timelines and transitions.
When we look at realistic timelines for your entry into this field, there are a few really viable avenues. A traditional computer science degree takes about 4 years and obviously builds a tremendously solid foundation. However, if you already have IT support or system admin experience, you can realistically transition in just 1 to 3 years. Why? Well, because you genuinely can't effectively hack a network if you don't intuitively know how a network is built and maintained in the first place. System administrators make phenomenal hackers. And if you're fiercely motivated, the fast-track route using intensive boot camps and certifications can absolutely have you field ready in just 1 to 2 years, proving that this is a highly accessible career pivot for truly dedicated learners, no matter their starting point.
Section 5, certifications and hands-on labs, proving your skills.
These specific certifications act as the ultimate, undeniable validation of your technical prowess. Starting with foundational certifications like CompTIA Security Plus, professionals usually move up to the well-known Certified Ethical Hacker, or CEH. But the absolute gold standards, the ones that emphatically prove you can actually hack in the real world, are the PNPT and the legendary OSCP. Now, the OSCP isn't just a simple multiple-choice test. It's a notoriously grueling 24-hour practical exam where you literally have to hack into a series of live machines just to pass. It is exhausting, it is stressful, and it is the ultimate badge of honor in the industry. Getting these can take anywhere from 3 to 12 months of intense study, but they're absolutely vital for getting your resume past an HR department.
But look, reading a textbook or watching a lecture simply isn't enough. You absolutely must bring the theoretical into the practical. Employers demand to see actual hands-on experience. You build this by actively engaging in Capture the Flag challenges, or CTFs. To break that down for beginners, a CTF is basically a digital scavenger hunt where you're challenged to find hidden text files, the flags, inside deliberately vulnerable machines to mathematically prove that you successfully hacked them. I highly recommend popular, easily accessible online platforms like Hack the Box or Tryhackme. They provide perfectly safe, fully legal, and incredibly engaging virtual environments where you can practice exploiting complex systems and learn exactly how those industry tools operate in real time.
Finally, Section 6, Salary and Career Outlook, the reward.
The financial upside here is, quite frankly, incredibly impressive. This number represents the average annual salary in the US for a penetration tester, reliably ranging right around $120,000 to $141,000. Even entry-level junior roles frequently start around $85,000. And experienced professionals, especially those willing to work in high-demand tech regions or do consulting, can easily earn upwards of $185,000 a year. It's an incredibly well-compensated profession, and from a broader career perspective, it's remarkably recession-proof. As long as the internet exists, cybercrime never sleeps, and the sheer demand for good guys to stop the bad guys will only continue to multiply. And this lucrative compensation isn't an accident. It's fundamentally driven by intense, legally mandated demand. Highly specialized sectors absolutely rely on penetration testers to maintain strict regulatory compliance. For example, the healthcare industry must comply with HIPAA to protect sensitive patient records, and the entire global financial sector must rigorously comply with PCI DSS to protect your credit card data. If a massive hospital network or an international bank fails a compliance audit and patient records or credit card data gets stolen, the government fines are absolutely devastating, frequently landing in the tens of millions of dollars. That astronomical risk is exactly why they're more than happy to proactively pay a penetration tester a massive 6-figure salary.
So, I'll leave you with this provocative thought. Are you ready to think like an attacker? Are you ready to master the powerful tools of a cybercriminal? Not to cause chaos, but to actively defend our digital future. The path is clearly structured, the global demand is massive, and the playbook is waiting for you. Thanks for joining this explainer. See you next time.